kapusiwan na tanang Rasa pangay rolling didi Iwang rolling didi Iyole isubulobade Imisegatakogan Ayole isubulobade Imisegatakogan Siwan na tanang Rasa pangay rolling didi Iwang rolling didi Iyole isubulobade Imisegatakogan Ayole isubulobade Imisegatakogan Juan ini timon Ini bini papayan Deside na elang-alangane Itangdake Yang masakake Hari kisipote ni mangkean Siwan na tanang Rasa pangay rolling didi Iwang rolling didi Iyole isubulobade Imisegatakogan Ayole isubulobade Imisegatakogan Wesala kanalo korang Rasang ilo sa maulawa Siwan na basic kapusiwan na tanang Rasa pangay rolling didi Iwang rolling didi Iyole Imisegatakogan Ayole isubulobade Imisegatakogan Juan ini timon Ini bini papayan Deside na elang-alangane Itangdake Yang masakake Hari kisipote ni mangkean Itangdake Yang masakake Hari kisipote ni mangkean Juan ini timon Ini bini papayan Deside na elang-alangane Itangdake Yang masakake Hari kisipote ni mangkean Itangdake Yang masakake Hari kisipote ni mangkean
Testing 1 2 testing 1 2 control
Hilda. test, tune, 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 mic, mic, test, mic, test, tune, tune, testing, test, test, mic test. Tune, tune, mic test.
Kita ko, lima ko, kuha jalan, blue spell, leng to cherry.
Yalla le north and south and east and west. Yalla le north and south and east and west. Ilo jasi garagara, ilo medo ina. Imo jabilla, aido gina do. Elum si
Singales marshmallows, Singambololani,
Marshall Islands. Sidram kabe lezan kilamima Jerry malawa kinswan wakataba Sindrigu wimedoin es medoanima Siskamololani skin colors amazela Siskamololani skin colors amazela Esperizo yo loctada hilo ailengi Yarezagi loga 1993 Imesle doleta karwaine ne selelo Sizelowe money dinar elu the clock in yakwe Sidram kabe lezan kilamima Jerry malawa kinswan wakataba Sindrigu wimedoin es medoanima Siskamololani skin colors amazela Siskamololani skin colors amazela Servali pendon bigodainin man senranganra Siswar resipet ilizuya yaman anailingina Siskamoloro nim serenairo nim yaquero Siskamololani skin colors on Marshall Island Siskamololani skin colors on Marshall Island Sidram kabe lenan kilamima Jerry malawa kinswan wakataba Sindrigu wimedoin es medoanima Siskamololani skin colors on Marshall Island Siskamololani skin colors on Marshall Island Sidram kabe lezan kilamima Jerry malawa kinswan wakataba Sindrigu wimedoin es medoanima Siskamololani skin colors amazela Siskamololani skin colors amazela Siskamololani skin colors amazela Siskamololani skin colors of Marshall Islands
Sidram kabe lezan kilawima Jerry malawa kinswan wakataba Sindribu wimedoin es medoanima Siskamololani skin colors amazela Siskamololani skin colors amazela Esperizo yoloktada ilo ailengi Yarezagi loga 1993 Imesle doleta karwaine ne selala Sizelowe money dinar elude glock in yakwe Sidram kabe lezan kilawima Jerry malawa kinswan wakataba Sindribu wimedoin es medoanima Siskamololani skin colors amazela Siskamololani skin colors amazela Serbali pendon bigodaini man senranganra Siswurisippe ilizuya yaman anailingina Siskamoloro nim serenairo nim yaquero Siskamololani skin colors on Mazel Island Siskamololani skin colors on Mazel Island Sidram kabe lenan kilawima Yerri malawa kinswan wakataba Sendribu wimedoin es medoanima Siskamololani skin colors of Marcella Siskamololani skin colors
One, two. Morning, Anolip. May I ask the students to please fill in the empty seats in the front? Kabaolip. Can we fill in these empty seats in the front? Ilo kaudit. Komol. Greetings, Yahweh Komolip. Navarum Kamolo Lani Jiman Menodum Jets. Many knew that Poro in Marum Pokonal and what Joan MC and Yenin. Elap, Imaur, and Kajuat Rujugul, staff, faculty, Board of Regents, Im Kajo CMI. Claim Kauda Yurudo Royal Manet, and will Eurojim Lero Roar, Generally Comrada. John Kileo Chanolak, and Lero Esther Chataga. Keno Yolap, His Excellency President David Kabua, Imroyan Cabinet, Speaker Kenneth Carey, Vice Speaker Jibat, Senator Roach, Chenkacho Island. Ruder Royal Kabung, Kalem Kaudejo, Minister Kejano, Semi Board of Regents Chairperson Catherine Drilling, Board of Regents Romatan, Semi President Dr. Irene Tafaki, and our CMI Vice Presidents, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Im Chaplain Arojilo CMI, Im Kajo Jolip, Im Darko Badoglu Chupon Riding, Neora Ligabin claim Kaude, Rodian claim Kaude, Kajo Jolip, Ralanglo Torun Claim. Fellow CMI staff, faculty, students, alumni, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This year, we celebrate 30 years of CMI's resiliency, and sustainable growth towards academic excellence. That's your cue to round of applause. Kapabu. 30 years, 30 years. Ngan jino yeni ngai marung kile CMI chaplain kalender pen podok charan kapelong ko. At this time, if I call upon CMI chaplain kalender to lead us with the invocation.
Chuchar benron molo le kane jilo chupongonin molo kan ko ba to ginam anam to ko muitini ji kamol chon ran la ngan kala ji nam lo ailinkin chilungol ye nan che bu ar mi ji ailinkin ilo chala la gujan kajaram mon rudrina kine wam yola pridinan kala jin boda prison stabin bagal di mala brujugurin em rain merar ko batangan witini ji im kamol jon rang lablap em jan kremol im walak rainin kajaram man nanin kem to yakin rongo jagi jenon ngan jamlogun ilo dan Jesus ko molot amen.
Komol chaplain, at this time, Jojum Chudak Ngararoi Kaude National Anthem on Island Queen. Jen CMI's very own Mrs. Please stand for the duration of the sing of the national anthem of the Republic of the Marshall Islands. Can we all face our flag? It's to your right. Komol.
like a rhythm.
Komol, you may be seated. Laldago dilo lajaran programin, camaran kurdok projedanan CMI. Oh, menaj bodo nanin karoininim kamolol, ilotan institution in Harwich. At this time, I would like to invite our very own CMI President, Dr. Irene Tofagi, to address her welcoming remarks.
Yakwe to all, good morning. Acting Minister of Education, Sports and Training, the Honourable Kesai Note, Catherine Rilang, Chair of the Board of Regents and respected members of the Board of Regents of the College of the Marshall Islands, distinguished representatives of the Diplomatic Corps, owners of the land on which we gather this morning, alumni, students, faculty, staff, and friends of CMI. Oh, we're going to have the national anthem with us all morning. Today is the beginning of a week of celebration of the official founding of the College of the Marshall Islands 30 years ago. And this gathering on this wonderful morning provides us the welcome public space to recognize this founding. A community college was first conceived for the Marshall Islands when the Board of Regents of the Community College of Micronesia issued its charter on October the 10th, 1989, designating it as the College of Micronesia, Majuro. Less than 2 years later, in January 1991, this infant institution was given its present name, the College of the Marshall Islands. The establishment of this institution of higher education represented the hopes of the leaders of the newly independent republic for self-reliance and development in the country, In 1991, Dr. Hilda Heine, the first president of the college, guided CMI through its transition from being an extension of the College of Micronesia, a legacy that remains with us through the Land Grant Treaty. Since this time, there have been 9 chairs of the CMI Board of Regents and 12 presidents. It's my honor to be making remarks as the 13th president on this, our 30th birthday. It was the College of the Marshall Islands Act of April the 9th, 1992, that confirmed CMI as an autonomous and independent institution. The Act stated the purpose and parameters of the college and provided for its governance by describing the role of the Board of Regents. A year later, in the first week of April 1993, CMI was formally dedicated as an independent entity. 30 years later, we can now reflect on CMI as an organic and dynamic institution which has, since its birth over 30 years ago, passed through infancy, childhood, adolescence, and now is on the threshold of maturity. A small group of dedicated educators protected and nurtures CMI infancy. They offered the best care possible, establishing CMI's core programs, administration and structures, and they stated their vision for the life of this child of national independence. As CMI grew, its adolescence experienced, like all adolescents, some turbulence. The process of forming an identity and personality is a critical task of adolescence. It has taken time and many leaders to explore the scope and the mission of CMI. With limited resources, leaders often made difficult decisions on how to balance the needs to prepare students from either transfer to 4-year institutions or focus on the immediate human resource and labor market needs of the Republic. Difficult decisions were often required to ensure compliance with increasingly stringent accreditation standards and the needs for improved facilities and attention to the fiscal and academic integrity of the colleges. There were challenges, mistakes, disappointments, and uncertainties, but never doubts about the value of the institution and its purpose, as well as successes and points of pride. Some failings and choices, like those made by teams, may have disappointed parents, relatives, and friends, but as an institution of learning, mistakes became excellent opportunities. These were stepping stones to change and improvements as CMI entered its 20s. During the college, which is 20 years, CMI gained greater clarity on what sustainability and success means to our students and employees, as well as to the institution's finances and facilities. The college's mission has been revised and its vision and values reassessed. The critical self-assessment of these values enabled us to realign and reflect a set of Marshallese values for the college. We have acknowledged, faced, and explored alternatives in those areas where we need to invest improvements, especially which have endangered our accreditation and taken the corrective action required. So I would like to say that our crises have turned into some victories, and the adoption of new learning and communication technologies together with a strong focus on student support for success, has placed CMI on a pathway to even greater progress. Now more firmly on the threshold of maturity, we can be proud to look back on 30 years of organic growth. Earlier this year, CMI received the news that after due consideration of the CMI follow-up report and visit, CMI's accreditors, ACCJC, had acted to reaffirm CMI's accreditation for the remainder of the current accreditation cycle, which secures student access to Pell Grants until at least 2028. CMI is grateful for the positive and formative approach ACCJC has adopted, which instills confidence in the accreditation process as a real tool for institutional development and improvement. CMI particularly welcomed the encouraging communication from the ACCJC President, Mac Powell, who expressed the Commission's appreciation for the diligent work and thoughtful reflection that the College of the Marshall Islands undertook to respond to its compliance requirements. This evidence of CMI's institutional stability, quality, and effectiveness, all hallmarks of maturity, was further supported in early February by the confirmation from the US Department of Education that CMI was now authorized to administer federal work-study and FS-EOG programs, both of which provide additional financial support to our students. Confirmation of our accreditation provides us with the confidence to embark on new initiatives, both in our academic and student support and in our facilities development. This Foundation Day is marked by the blessing and opening of the Sergeant Solomon Sam basketball court, an opportunity to once more express our appreciation to Solomon Sam, his family, and the sacrifice that this student of the college has made. The beautification also of the college reflects the value we place on the education of the youth and adults of the Marshall Islands. Last year, I quoted Aristotle. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intentions, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wisest choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. The senior leadership team, our Executive Vice President, William Raya, our Vice President for Business and Administration, Stevenson Cotton, our Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs, Dr. Elizabeth Sweetai, and the VP Land Grant, Stanley Lorinich, lead CMI's commitment to excellence. As president, I witness daily their high intentions, sincerity, determination, and intelligent execution of the college's plans. It is this enthusiasm and the firm belief in human potential that, together with the support and wise guidance of the Board of Regents, has taken us along the path from infancy to maturity and from good to better this year. Thank you again for joining us this morning in the celebration of Foundation Week, and also for accompanying us on the CMI's journey forward. Thank you.
Komol data. Oh, komol data Dr. Irene. Ilo yanin, nganair kamane kejuich, ngai marung kerdok, faculties and nganair kamane ukroyair. To add a mixture of flavor of performance to our program, I am pleased to present the Faculty Senate who will perform for us. Round of applause for the Faculty Senate.
Noise. Isa kuya, yalele senika we alieke. Andiva neromoda, eumole kaerukumuni. Isa naitala no aniromoda, amuita kamena runa numane. Wale imanga numi autiko, boys going.
Did you guys like that? Did you guys like that? Now give them love for that. If you guys like that, give them love. All right. Igichen Nan, Ilodan Board of Regents. Please join me in welcoming Catherine Rilland, the chairperson of our college's Board of Regents. Kapubuk.
Yakuengan olip. Yakuengan olip. Mukadada claim kamolo lani jagan yani namman. Imgan kobado winaro jarainin. Claim kau de yuroj alat berjar barroan. Purejin chugulin elaban siamai chudagi. Ewo bai jago chat kempa jagoan siamai balagan ailangkain. Raibar chudagi lo arak chaloj wache ibai santo kile. Claim kau de chairman ewan council of Euro chimada kabwa. All of Euro jim le rojero kab owner ro ilo council of Euro. Im Euro jim le rojero kab alabem rojar barro ibalagan ailangkain. Claim president an ailangkain His Excellency David Kabua and First Lady Ginger Kabua. Rowan Cabinadeo, Imro Karajarer, Chuan Special Killing and Minister Kesai Note, Ewa Acting and Rayawan Chalalagyan. Kile Rowan Nadijalayo, Speaker, Vice Speaker, Imro Karajarer, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Rugagin Chemer, Kabala Rugagi Roylo Kabum, Chief Justice Carl Ingram, Imchajaro Matan Ilo Chiganegajadeo. Mayor ro, Kab Council ro, and local government ro kachoyo. Chief Secretary Commissioner ro, and kachoyo Ministry wan kien. Public Service Commissioner ro, imalab ro wan Public Service eo. Directors, CEOs, and managers, and Rariko, and kien im state-owned enterprises ago. Ubijaro and Chamber of Commerce, Imalabro and private sector reo. Kile civil society organization go. Public ka private school go. Manarlo Medamilo Chipungunin. Imchuan Kileo Janolak ngan Board of Regents ro. Imalak and Collegein. Regents ro Matarainin. Elaptada, alumni, students, faculty, and staff of the past and present, ladies and gentlemen. It has been my honor and great fortune to serve as the 9th board chair of the College of the Marshall Islands as we celebrate this momentous milestone. 30 years of countless accomplishments of this college. As your board chair, I want to take this opportunity to give my thanks, big kamolol, for the hardworking CMI team who have played an extremely important part in CMI's history and success, persevering through in times of great sacrifice, change, and growth, and doing so in a way that has elevated the college to be a much stronger and sound leader in the region. A philosopher by the name of Soren, a Danish philosopher, so I can't really pronounce the last name, said life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. Pweden merong melelegan norin, chen reilugalak, patap chen one malakot ar nor. Ilo ar keme me chinungulia ratan chugulin elabana ilangkain, chen reilugalak. Yang tabarako rarelak ngan langit calelag jam imnor anarmijin ailangkain. Chen barreilugalak imlamanakan abangko imekadoko. Ngan kuan malak cibarbar im katabarwan collegein. Elangay cejala yayo cagar perye imwewinar tabarijin catabaray. Inam cemarong calay yayo imwewinar tabar cibarbar im katabarako anidiju ewan chugulin. Pen wan malak im tat mulal tigrik. Kencubui cumawad rujugul, cecewat program go, capai kainnya kadak im regagingan kadagan, calak internet, im capai ay wujugot nganancuan college iter, im kagai ay wujugoan lal ciririginar. Cinungul yer ramadalak im rainin cejeloy elangalak cencuan taujin rujuguro, ilo aleben campus go. Elangalak program ko, ego bacuan bachelor's program. Elangalak campus, ilo elang chicken ko, ilo majalin. Ngan kabiroro lagan armit, pigot jalalak jamayo yaude jalak. Imam online wat, im night kamane kalay ko am, kamane akaragay schedule in semester am, imelang menuko ramalak, rabiroro lak, im rajat jadalak, nganay wujwar. Rainin. COVID-19, egar lukun tayo kay kanelang ngawin ko. Im college egar pass. Payengin chugulin ay chudak pen im kayorot, engin tej merong kememe chilungul ye. Imi pen chilungul ye nay, tej parenot kamolol. Kamolol ala barorar po kunayrim chibang college payen merong pag para accreditation status yawan, chen ACC, JC, yung mga lalim yogo ng iman. Yung mga lukun kwala kauragan accreditation ngan kayo na oray white pag Pell Grant, ilwan auraga accreditation bayan marong doko chenin chibangin chen Amerika. May lang tabarak ko, warot charabala ko chejewit kamane, nganan college rutolak, imrabakabakalak, im tat im mulaw karangan ay wujuan lal cirriginar imar mijurongan college ne be wajagan langat calalag jananar mijinay langkain pajen merong pek ijogo cigur cabrewot cigune ocena jatalim peri ibalagin lalin nganan college merong cudaglak yanim kijengengay cejay wit karagalak endowment fanewan college elabar kamolol Rora Tony dengan entau meneo, im coro to lukuan college elap tada kienewan majal, Bank of Marshall Islands, rujuguro imalak imalam nairo, kum emol tada. Port of Regions ro, ami rajmanonon karong komalip, pwene juwar juan fundraiser elap, empodi netale, ngan kanelak coro to lukuan siyamay. Emilo rana kani man ene walok melelego yigchen fundraiserin te kachidak chibango ani kachojo ignan pagyanin kle kaude jim kamolole Port of Regions ro imanlak chairperson ro Oscar De Broom, Wilfred Kendall, Sandy Dismas, Sane Aho, Maria Fowler, Romeo Alfred, Gerald Jagayud, and Benjamin Judaro. Imelaptada regions rain mata rainin, kancharabalin tal im karayargo ayer, chenagayigarpuk position in chairperson. Being amongst you distinguished members of government, private sector, and the community, I thank you for putting your trust in me and for respecting me enough to lead the Board of Regents. I am very proud and honored to be standing here celebrating 30 beautiful years. Lastly, you know the board only sets the course and passes along the medal, but the true navigators of this fine college are the students. Thank you for trusting CMI to further your education and for your dedication and school spirit. Excuse me. To the faculty and staff, thank you for your hard work, innovative ideas, and professionalism. And to Dr. Irene and the senior leadership team, your outstanding leadership qualities have been of great value to the board and to the college. Kumolep kano yinemol, happy 30th Foundation Day, Jaraman.
Come on, Miss Catherine. Keynote speaker on Jiponin Rainin, acting minister on education, sports, and training. Kap minister on transportation, communication, and information technology. Im senator Arwich and Ailing Chabot, the Malabaru de Buemaron Kobado Peruich. We are very privileged and honored, so please allow me to introduce today's keynote speaker, Honorable Minister Kejai Note.
Kumol Dada MC. I look at the faculty performance here this morning and I realized that CMI is truly an international institution and we should all be proud of that. Mula dyan ay wan malo dengan kamolo lani ilo Chiponin Rainin kamolo lagan meur pinay meur mungkin karukuan dengan kajuj janian dengan nian jelangan jangan kalau kile iro ar ilo ailan kain le iro parainot ro telge ilo mana doar ragiro chemer chiner ilo iglesia war kajuju ko rudo ar ilo kieno war ilo kieno yolak kieno war ilo municipal government war ro right telge ilo chujun perginar ilo business sector agilo kajujian agency war ilo kienge inar ilo community inar Lalu, menurut Chiponin Rainin paimarong pagananuan kianuar modada kamolo dengan invitation dengan His Excellency President David Kabua dengan pokonan ilo Rani Naur kan CMI 30th CMI Foundation Day 2023 members of the diplomatic corps Rainrar ko bado izin lo Chiponin Rainin. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I want to thank our Heavenly Father for this wonderful opportunity to come together and celebrate another momentous occasion in CMI's journey toward excellence. I want to comment on behalf of His Excellency President David Kabua, my fellow minister, and to convey our great gratitude and appreciation for the invitation to be part of this celebration of CMI 30th Foundation Day 2023. I would like to recognize and congratulate the Port of Regents and the previous and current presidents, our senior leadership team, the CMI management, faculty, and staff on your tireless efforts and determination to continuously raise the standards of our education area in the RMI. As we reflect on the rapid growth and development of CMI, as Dr. Irene Tapagi used the analogy of stages of development and maturity of person, I also want to acknowledge how this development is very much aligned to the main objective of our National Strategic Plan 2020, which is sustainable, equitable, measurable development, reflecting priorities and culture of the marginalized people. This institute has adopted a more martialist set of institutional values that are holistic in nature, contextual, and culturally relevant. Values are what motivate and drive each of us to act in the unique ways that we do. They are mostly unconscious, and many of us are not aware of our own inherent value system. To look within and critically examine one's own set of values is the beginning of self-awareness and maturity. A deeper understanding of one's own place in the larger scheme of things as an essential part of the whole and not a separate entity. This re-examination of values has allowed CMI to once again change and to realign itself with our national development objective, to acknowledge and tend to allow the priorities and culture of the marginalized people to be the driver of all action. Foundation Day, as it is with Independence Day, is a time of reflection, of making sense of our own development, and celebrating and thanking those that have helped us become who we are today. Reflecting on the development of the Marshall Islands as a nation, I can see many achievements worth celebrating. However, we still have many challenges to address at the national level. One of the main challenges we face nationally is the out-migration of our people, as it is evident in the unofficial census results. Our people leave for many reasons: for safety, better health, better education, and better opportunities. Ultimately, it is for a better life for them and their families, which they cannot find here. They seek a well-being that they cannot find at home. This reflection, as disheartening as it is, it's an opportunity for us to work together to overcome. It is a calling for us to create the opportunities for well-being that our people desire and seek outside. We can deal with climate change, sea level rise, and COVID-19, but to what end if our people just leave? Have we succeeded if our population declines due to lack of well-being? So then, how do we keep our people from leaving? The answer has been with us at all the time. It is the implementation of our national strategic plan. This plan identifies 5 pillars, 24 strategic areas, and 105 policy objectives that, if addressed, will create the opportunities we seek outside of the Marshall Islands. Yes, it is a national effort, and as the model institutions for planned growth and development in the RMI, we will be working more closely with the college on the implementation of our national strategic plan. As CMI continues to be the example at home, now as a 30-year-old mature problem solver, the national education leader, a center for research specific to the needs of the nation, your role is critical in our main migration process, where we, as leaders of the nation, reflect upon, understand, and accept our shortcomings, and then change the way we are internally in order to see a change that manifests nationally. The answer is already with us. We just have to look within to solve the national problems that are simply symptoms and manifestations of an inherent internal condition. So to conclude my reflection this morning, I need a collaborative effort for sustainable national development using CMI as a model leader and the National Strategic Plan as our pathway to succeed. A success that is defined by the well-being of our nation and especially the well-being of our marginalized people through an international focus on sustainable, equitable, and measurable development, reflecting the priorities and culture of the marginalized people. The national government and cabinet support CMI's Foundation Day and Foundation Week to show our appreciation for the hard work and dedication of the CMI team and keeping the institution focused on moving forward as an example for our nation. With that said, let us proceed with the celebrations of CMI's continuing journey of resiliency and sustainable growth towards academic excellence. Ceramah dengan Alip, kumul-dara.
Chamarung ke balela kalang kapo kular kaudijum kamolol His Honorable Minister Keynote. Joint special from none other than our very own CMI Kwajalein Club. Another mixture of flavor to our program this morning. Chamarung ke kapuwongan Kwajalein Club.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What? One, two, 1, 2.
Accept.
Sure. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right.
Hujurul getalang metia, enem kenea, kejerugi parane. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, no more girls, only the boys and guys.
Isimela do musuh kapo.
John.
jene ga jange ai ni yene go imi jadodo ai ni yene go mana runga jage imi galala ila go ngai ida imbal man sidi when so de Zanginga ilang ilang Bigger the eyes, ways bigger the eyes Wake the roin above Tilly then go on rain Sinigo dage Lada go ngailing Zanginga ilang ilang Bigger the eyes, ways bigger the eyes Wake the roin above Tilly then go on rain Sinigo dage Lada go ngailing Zanginga ilang ilang Bigger loan, ways bigger lies Wake the roin above Hilda na go on rain Sinigo dage Lada go ngailing Rola kage Zanginga ilang ilang Bigger loan, ways bigger lies Wake the roin above Hilda na go on rain Mama Mama Gajangi Ini gini go Thank you
Komol, CMI, Kwajalein Club Boys. Anan bolok special remarks koan. Di makar project dengan college in year 1991 and 1992. And the current senator, Aur. Unfortunately, her presence is not with us today, but has prepared for us a pre-recorded speech. Please direct your attention to the screens. Please give a round of applause to Dr. Hilda Heine.
Kamolo li roji gan rainin imkan wana ga wan gan armi jin majal ngan CMI laptada kliya le rorin kliya lo yeni i roji mle roji roar president David Kabua cabinet de speaker in vice speaker in ro wan di jale ruga ga ro lo kabunko kachoyo awale armi jin majal imalaptada rijo ro lo CMI ro wan CMI board President Irene Tapaki, faculty in staff on CMI. Speaking to you today takes me back 30 years. In the past, we did not have a foundation week. I suppose we were all so busy laying the foundation of the school, we did not have time, or perhaps the energy to celebrate. Looking back, however, I think we should have taken the time to celebrate those foundational accomplishments as they were being put in place. And so today, I'm extremely grateful. In the past, we did not have a foundation week. That I am able to celebrate this 30th foundation week with all of you. It is indeed a very important time in the history of CMI, and I'm privileged to be a part of this historic event. As you know, many of the faculty and staff who helped to build CMI are no longer with us. So as we celebrate the last 30 years, we remember them and we honor their memory and their many contributions to CMI. Institutions communicate the character of a community. Different institutions set out distinct values and convey their significance in the life of a community and a nation. CMI is an important institution in the RMI, and it communicates the importance of education. not only to our people, but to people everywhere. The establishment of CMI and the significant investments in the college over the years is an indication that the educational development of our people is indeed a high priority for our government. Our government recognizes that our nation building cannot succeed without an educated population. Our government also recognized that the proper education was important for our country, our citizenry, with goals and aspirations for themselves and their families. Establishing an institution like CMI takes many hands, many hearts, many dreams, and a lot of tedious work. As you all know, CMI emerged from 3 distinct major-based programs, then School of Nursing, CCM Extension Program, and the Land Grant Program that were all affiliated with the mother institution at the time, College of Micronesia, or COM. Before the establishment of CMI, there was very little control of how the CCM extension was being run here in Majuro. We had little to no control of any approval process for purchases, minimal say on faculty selection, or what courses or degree programs we could offer. Because of our growing frustration, we sought approval from the government through the then Education Minister Philip Muller to establish RMI's own campus. Armed with the RMI government support, we then appealed to the COM Board of Regents to allow us to consolidate the college programs in Majuro into a separate and independent college for the Marshall Islands. It helped that Deacon Alfred Capelli was the chair of the COM Board of Regents. With approval from the Board of Regents in hand, we set out to seek WASC accreditation for the new institution. A consultant was brought in from the University of Guam to assist us in putting together our plan and proposal to WASC in 1991-1992. CMI became accredited as a separate institution in 1993. The rest, as they say, is history. As coordinator of the CCM Extension Program in Majuro, I was fortunate to be a part of the team that helped establish our independent college. Dr. Irene Nealon, who was the director of the CCM School of Nursing, and Mrs. Jeanette McKay, the then director of the COM Land Grant Program, were the other members of the team that led this effort. As the only Marshallese on the team, the board appointed me the first president of CMI. I suppose you could say that I was at the right place at the right time. Regardless, I will forever be grateful for the opportunity and the privilege to serve the young people of our nation as CMI's first president. I recall with fondness the many discussions we had on how we wanted to create an identity for the new institution. I remember the many debates on whether we should call this new institution Marshall Islands College, or Marshall Islands Community College, or Community College of the Marshall Islands, or the College of the Marshall Islands, or CMI. We did not want community college in the name because we dreamt of a day when the institution would become a 4-year college. CMI won out because the MIC acronym was already taken by another institution that was providing a very different service. I distinctly remember also the development of the CMI seal and the motto, Sidram Kabel. We had opened the opportunity for the public to send in their ideas for the CMI logo and motto with an accompanying explanation. The community was proud of CMI and enthusiastically participated in the contest. It has been a while, so I cannot recall who won the contest, but I believe the current seal is a combination of 2 submissions, one of the design and the other, the motto itself, that were merged into the current seal and motto. CMI has come a long way since those formative years. When the college opened its doors in 1992, CMI was offering only 2 programs, teacher education, and nursing. These were 2-year degree programs. We have since seen the growth in the number of students, facilities, budgets, and programs. The quality of facilities have greatly improved as well. CMI now has a Kwajalein campus and centers in Jalwood, Wache, and Santo. Technology has been smartly utilized to extend and sustain programs over time and in to faraway locations. CMI graduates are everywhere in government and in the private sector. They have contributed much and on so many levels and in various sectors to the growth and development of our nation. I congratulate all of CMI's graduates who have been integral in building the Marshall Islands to what it is today. CMI now offers a 4-year degree program in education. In 1992, we could only dream that one day our college would be able to offer our students a 4-year degree. I cannot put into words the sense of pride I felt when the 4-year degree program was announced. I am now more certain than ever that more 4-year degrees are around the corner, and that it is only a matter of time before CMI becomes a 4-year college. Of that, I am certain. Throughout the years, CMI has proven itself to be resilient and adaptable. It has gone through many challenges, including on the verge of losing its WAS accreditation some time ago. Through these tough times, the community and the government have rallied around CMI to show their support and pull it away from the edge. This speaks volume to the value, present and future, that is inherent in this institution. Many Marshallese families, for the first time, have college graduates among family members. Without a local college, that would not have been possible for many of us. A college education that is practically free with college tuition nearly 100% paid is not common. That CMI is creating pathways to a prosperous future for many, many families is not an insignificant achievement. In closing, let me express my deep appreciation and heartfelt congratulations to everyone, past and current president, Board of Regents, faculty and staff, and most especially CMI students. May you continue to build your foundation on Mountain Majal. Stay relevant, remain smart and future-oriented. Charaman, imanajan kajaraman kumaulit. Pamali wami kachuyu, imchuli naroj, CMI. Happy Foundation Week and ulit. Kuma moltada.
Much better. Alumni Konono Ilodan, alumni Ran CMI. Join me in welcoming Navigators Alumni President Ann Abeja to address her remarks.
Yoke. Yoke alep, pero dulu kile awin kile kap kamolol cenderung romalak. Iganan kamane sirik cuma kajin kile im kau te jangan rute jerinar cen kiano yolap. CMI students, staff and faculty. Well, I'm back. Okay, you Inganan kamane chirik choma kajin kilayum kaudej, rudej reinar chen kieno yolab, CMI students, staff and faculty. Kobala gipen president Dr. Irene Tafaki. Im komoy kachojo komal kobadok nanyeni na labana ibojoj. I remember when I was a CMI student, and even now, I love speaking. In my speech class, I would speak past my time limit when with the speeches in front. Sad to say, I got used to my instructor cutting me off and telling me to sit down. Something I learned is to write out my speeches beforehand, or else it would take all year. In any case, it is an honor and privilege for me to stand before you as the president for the CMI Alumni Club. Ever since the club started, it has made many progress these past years through its previous and current officers and members. The club has brought so many of the CMI alumni together, even though they are leading their own lives, and it keeps the spirit of being part of CMI alive. As a CMI alumnus myself, I am grateful to our college and want to give back in any services I can. CMI has given its students many opportunities to learn and grow in navigating independence, time management, work experience, financial management, personal and professional relationships, and much more. One last but not the least important thing is that CMI prepares students to seek a higher education outside the country. For instance, I seek a higher degree at Eastern Oregon University, EOU, and it is one of the few universities in the US that has a partnership with CMI. My credits from CMI were able to transfer to EOU, and I did not have to start off as a freshman. Still, there were struggles, but through it all, I graduated from EOU OSSU School of Nursing. To make my story short, I am forever grateful to CMI, and as the CMI Alumni Club President, I am passionate in keeping the club active, for it can also be a foundation and platform for young leaders to make a stand and have a voice. The only goal in mind I had when I came back was to give back to my country and to whoever has helped me along the way to achieve and be the person I am today. There is an old martially saying that is deep and very meaningful. Please listen carefully. Hegemeus samnalala kilangewan. The reef ferret fish will swim everywhere, but it will not forget its feeding ground or its nest. If you are a CMI alumni, please sign up now. Join our club. As another saying goes, Ipendron et pokodok kajor. Together we are stronger and have a higher chance of success in what we strive to achieve. Ilodan olep CMI alumni kobala kipeno bijaro mata im at paidareo ninida note kami ang kanan pa. We are proud CMI alumni. Thank you.
Komolan. Parjonalen nganair kamunani kajut. I am pleased to present the Staff Senate for their special performance.
Testing 1 2.
Mic test.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
John Ru.
Mic test, mic test. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Mic test, mic test. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Mic test, mic test. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Ngana olep kona ako emen lo siama inge ko cheptup. Ego e tala plor ne. Joju malu je ikure ne acar kani. Mic test, mic test. Oba lagi pet taxi driver ro, ngai wajib lo ke pet tala kerainin. Edar lagi siama campus. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Siapa Alumni?
Emur toga dereng, emur toga derok, matan set cenpe, aku lo koket, ekata na riro imsok, yogi ka dulawi, ara bari tarap, eski ban giban, ekangur banget. All together, let's give a round of applause.
Imikali kare, oh mama yo ini ondra ini, sebungu durara yurio. Oh yuram big bigoti say meto kuisi arera ketabala. Oh durim pagalenga takaseni kisep imikali kare, oh mama yo ini ondra ini, sebungu durara yurio. Oh duram big bigoti say meto kuisi arera ketabala. Oh durim pagalenga takaseni kisep imikali kare, mama yo ini ondra ini, sebungu durara yurio. Odulam bigi bigoti say meto kuisi arera ketabala. Odurim pagalenga takaseni kisep imikali kare, mamanya ini ondra ini, sebungu durara yurio. Odulam bigi bigoti say meto kuisi arera ketabala. Odurim pagalenga takaseni kisep oh mama yo ini ondra ini, sebungu durara yurio. Odulam big big oti say me to pusi yara yara gataba. Odurim pagalenga taga sini kisah imi kali kare. Mama yo ini on raini sebungu turayriyo. Odulam big big oti say me to pusi yara yara gataba. Odurim pagalenga taga sini kisah imi kali kare. O mama yo ini on raini sebungu turayriyo. Hey, kubak nenai sebosnik. Ik kies hem voor alleen. Mama yo ini on raini sebungu turayriyo. Odulam big big oti say me to pusi yara yara gataba. Odurim pagalenga taga sini kisah imi kali kare. Mama yo ini on raini sebungu turayriyo. Oduram big big oti say me to pusi yara yara gataba. Odurim pagalenga taga sini kisah imi kali kare. Mama yo ini on raini sebungu turayriyo. Helwa dal tak yang tak yoyin kejura juta kuwa kejibara. Hello.
Children. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Baca ke jangan lihat aku aja nih. Dari waktu, ya katakan dari Rojok, yang ikan bulan Arara balitanep. Ro rijilap kadujo kalau karo arimpe. Asiri ko ederak. Kijar ko ederak. Akijar birto elat. Sirkiki.
Chun. Tale, sole, enoke ya hek sama-sam. Haidi temu seberbi sama karate, enoke ngan siralit. Lama pokot kesata kenian, hentak ni be imaroro. Higiti, sol ngan solalo, hotel lagi ni ko rendana go. Tangan Jun. Mana urung cinta keto kai nigien Andri kazanga raise kamu lolo gieni mana urung cinta keto kai nigien Andri kazanga raise kamu lolo gieni elari giri keto kudua himpa kota kame jado dogan Raman rai bosul elari giri keto kudua himpa kota kame jado dogan Raman rai bosul ella ke talaune kinero gaiso kardo ke la ken sai bone mole la panno igo karable imune ewi bus to como que na puri mena mosan kwansin ella ke talaune kinero gaiso kardo ke la ken sai bone mole la panno igo karable imune ewi Wish to como que na buki mena mosan kwansin elari dog dua impo ko daga meja dogan Raman rai bosul elari dog dua impo ko daga meja dogan Raman rai bosul sakarone ke sakamaine enno sakasese wara bobi ben ko doi mole la tanno Kuirole ke popone enna pigese kamau lalaki nasi tugore elaga bajikir yoyi sakarone ke sakamaine enno sakasese wara bobi ben kodoi mole la tanno Kuirole ke popone enna pigese kamau lalaki nasi tugore elaga bajikir yoyi elari giri do impo ko daga meja do Raman rai bosul elari giri dog dua impo ko daga meja dogan Raman rai bosul go kamu lolo gieni mana urung sita ke to kai nigien andu sanga raise kamu lolo gieni elari giri do dua impa ko daga meja dogan Raman rai bosul elari giri do dua impa ko daga meja dogan Raman rai bosul ella ke talaune kinero gaiso kardo ke la kin sai bone mole la banno igo garable iwi ewi bus to como que na pu mena masan kwansin ella ke talaune kinero gaiso kardo ke la kin sai bone mole la banno igo garable ewi bus to que na pu mena masan kwansin elari giri do dua impa ko daga meja dogan Raman rai bosul elari giri do dua impa ko daga meja dogan Raman rai bosul sakarone ke sakamaine enno sakasese wara bobi pene ko doi mole la banno kuirone ke popone enno bigise wajigiryoyin Sakaronege sakamaine enno sakazeze Wara bobi penekodoyin mola labanenno Kuironege pobone enno bigeze Kama ola lagina chibore elaga wajigiryoyin elari girigirigo kudua Kimpa balaga mejalogan Roman rai bosul elari girigirigo kudua Kimpa balaga mejalogan Roman rai bosul Pinchingen kwerjin ijala kachin chicken bangainam aisap kanan pa
Combol Staff Senate. We marun lela kia lela gini parchonalen and President Arwich and Kalgin. Please give another round of applause for President Dr. Irene Tofaki as she presents the CMI Employees Appreciation.
Thank you, MC. Over the course of the 30 years the college has been in existence, there have been many who have worked here, and the names of our presidents, of course, are there in your program, and the chairs of the boards of regents. But the staff who you have seen this morning, and also the faculty, they are really the heart of the work that the college does to bring education to the students of the Marshall Islands. And over the past 30 years, as I said, there have been very, very many who have served the institution. We compiled a list. We have the names of the people who have worked here for 15 years, for more than 15 to 20 years, those with 20 years of service, those of 25 years of service and upward. I want to recognize all of you for the work that you do, and those of you that are still with us who have shown your loyalty and dedication to the cause of education in the country. Particularly this morning, I want to say the names of those people who have worked at the college for more than 25 years. These are Walton Bohani, who served for 26 years. Sepe David, who has worked for the college for 28 years. Mary Silk. Mary has worked at CMI for 29 years. But our queen of the day has been at the college for 30 years, and that's Rosina Tomiko Jetnil Korean. We have certificates of appreciation for Walton, Sepe, and Mary. If you're here, we would very much like to welcome you on stage. If you're not here, we'll give them to you another time. But colleague to come and say a few words about our 30-year-old mature lady. Mary.
Yaqui Olive. Rosina Tomigo Tidonil Korean was born in Anno Atoll and grew up in the Radak chain, but also as lands in the Ralik chain. Her father, Tidonil Lajutok, was from both Ralik and Radak chain, and her mother, Dukuma Stephen Tidonil Lajutak, from Jadoj Atoll, and other islands in the Ralik and Radak chains. She had some lands in Mile Atoll. Rosina grew up in Anno, Mile, and also on Mijero Atolls in the Marshall Islands and attended elementary schools in Anno, Mijero, Ligiep, and back to Mijero, where she completed and graduated from Assumption School in 8th grade. In the following year, she was able to go to Saipan, Mariana Islands, to attend Mount Carmel High School, where there were many girls from the Micronesian islands. 4 years later, she completed her high school education with a diploma from Mount Carmel High School in Saipan, Mariana Islands. After graduating from Saipan, Mount Carmel High School, Rosina returned to the Marshall Islands. Immediately, her father advised her to apply for the Marshall Islands and also for the Trust Territory scholarships. Less than a week later, she received news that she was to receive both scholarships. Both parents agreed with Rosina's wish to travel to Kansas City, Missouri, way far in the Midwest of the United States. Rosina traveled with the 2 Peace Corps volunteers who were good friends of her father. They helped her get settled into Avila College, where she studied nursing. At the time, she was the only foreign student on campus who lived in the dorm. Rosina enjoyed 4 years at the Avila College. She has written about her many experiences both at the college and the US, and how she learned many things from the American classmates, like how to be independent, how to compete in life, and how to recognize her good qualities. Rosina graduated from Avila College in 1975 with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree and decided to take the state registered nurse exam. While waiting for her results, she applied to work at the nursing home in Kansas City. She passed and became the first Marshallese registered nurse. Although tempted to stay to work in the US at least for 1 year, she decided to return home. This was after she had reflected on the real purpose of coming to the US to study. She thought, did I come to US to study and to get good salaries, or to help the people in the Marshall Islands? She recalled how fortunate she had been to get 2 to 3 scholarships to complete her nursing education. Therefore, Rosina wrote a letter to the director of Mijero Marshall Islands Hospital, informing him that she had completed her nursing education and was wondering if he could hire her at the Mijero Hospital. In 1976, Rosina returned to the Marshall Islands hoping that she would be hired at the Mijero Hospital. Surprisingly, the director told her that there was no budget for her. She had to wait for a position to open in the following years. After the High Commissioner heard about this, the High Commissioner's office in Saipan sent funds to Mijero Hospital, but she was still not hired. For the time being, Rosina stayed with her family at Mijero. At that time, Mr. Kenja Enrique was the Director of Education in the Marshall Islands. When he heard that Rosina was a graduate with no job, he immediately hired her to teach at the Marshall Islands High School. During the time, she stayed and worked with the teacher from the Outer Islands elementary schools, reviewing math, science, English grammar, social studies, and health issues. 2 years later, Rodina received a word from the Office of the High Commissioner, Edward E. Johnston, who was the head of the Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands and was stationed in Saipan, telling her to get on the next flight to Saipan and work in the nursing school there as an instructor. 2 days later, she left to Saipan, where she lived and worked for 10 years. In Saipan, Rosina met and married Dr. Masao Korean, a Marshallese from Medjay Island. His father is as Japanese from Tokyo, Japan, and her mother is a Marshallese from Medjay Island. Dr. Masao was raised in Medjay Island and went to school in Medjaro, Guam, Fiji, and in the US. He did his medical training in Fiji and in the Philippines. He was a surgeon, a family doctor, and an orthopedics. In 1986, the Korean family decided to move back to the Marshall Islands, mainly to take care of their parents. In the process of moving, Rodina asked the Trust Territory Board of Region, under the responsibilities of the College of the Micronesia, to transfer the School of Nursing to Medjaro, Marshall Island. At that time, she promised the board that she would search for qualified instructors in places to hold classes, as well as for clinical places for practicum in the Medjaro Hospital and in the community. When all the agreements were done, the nursing school was moved to Medjaro. By 1987, all the three programs, nursing, education, and the land grant extension, were located in Medjaro, where the present campus is located now. In 1988, the new hospital located in Dalab was completed. Patients and hospital staff and the management were moved from the old hospital in Wulaga to Dalab. The Medjaro Hospital at that time was administered by the Mercy Missions. Rodina and Dr. Hilda C. Heine, who were taking care of the COM extension program at that time, negotiated with the Wulaga landowners for the use of the old hospital buildings, including the land areas. Together, they approached Mr. Henry Miller, the Yuroj, Alab Nomai Peter, and Reserval Listen Candle, permission to use the old hospital buildings and also the land areas. Because the purpose was for the higher education programs, such as for the nursing school and other extensions in education, the landowners generously agreed to give the areas and building to the RMI government. Immediately, the agreement documents were prepared and signed. The land was surveyed and the buildings were renovated by Mr. Kurt Bino Construction Company. A year and a half later, the nursing program that was located at the second floors above the bank of the Marshall Islands moved down to the new location where is the CMI now. Instructors were hired to run the nursing program. The chairperson was Senior Irene Nayland. Instructors were Georgia Hemel, Senior Ann Paul Peter, Mrs. Rensselaer Alip, and Bubu Rosina Korean. In 1988, the Medjaro Nursing School graduated its first group of 31 nursing students, young men and women from the RMI, Palau, and from the FSM Islands. There are currently 154 students in the CMI nursing program and 7 in public health. In 1922, there were 16 students graduating with an AS degree in nursing and 18 graduating with a certificate in public health. In 1991, the CMI College was accredited by the Commission for Community and Junior College, and in April 1993, CMI became an independent entity with its own board of region and was chartered to serve as the post-secondary agency for the RMI. Improvements of the College of the Marshall Islands followed. Rodina had continued her loyal and dedicated service to CMI and its nursing program, always one of the first to arrive every day and the last to leave. She has served as a chair of the nursing department and been actively involved in all CMI committees and activities over the past 30 years. Year after year, Rodina has witnessed the graduation of cohorts of her students, all of whom remember her careful instructions and wise guidance. Rodina Tomigo Chadanil Korean, on behalf of the Board of Regents, the President and Senior Leadership, and the Nursing Department, we thank you for your dedicated and loyal service to the education of our nation's nurses. We hope you will stay with us for many more years to come. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge and congratulate Rosina Korean.
We have a certificate and a gift of appreciation to Rosina Korean. Please join me with a good clap.
Comaldada CMI, I love you all. That's all.
Emojar taberdok chamalagun programi. Neme udilo imenini char chino ipenanich. Chene ibar kajamala. Menodunje ipen. I call upon Chaplain Glenda to give the benediction and the blessing of the CMI's perimeter fence and the Sergeant Solomon Sam basketball court sign. After he brings the benediction, we will have our special speakers, our distinguished guests, and we'll meet up at the front of the basketball court for the unveiling, which will be from Staff Sergeant Philip and the family member of late Sergeant Solomon Sam. And we will come around to the front of the gate, and the unveiling of the fence will be from our very own Dr. Irene Tavaki and Acting Minister Keynote. Chaplain.
Boromole demji, chocher, tas break, mit kamolole, anit parchonalen, kami pungutok chamalogawan, program inam bilo, elegan rela brainin. Mologan nangin kemar ramajagi, improjected nganinyanin, ngan foundation day nan GMI, ngan celebrate, chilinguli ye nan chewe, aramajina ilinki, jaram mane weekend. Alaban GMI, President Nan, Vice President Rain, Staff and Bagel Team, Rujugur Rain, Rain me, Rachura Galinkina, Kajaraman, Kianam Yola, Podinan GMI, Cherin, Rain Matan, Jaram Manirolep, Kanyarmarang Yubung Jurane, Charapalagin Rollap, ankala ji nam lo ailing kin takiya ngana je waj bendin jara man kinam chiginde kurin ka urori na manich blessing am en kejaraman en berion en kejaramane cendia en ngere jwa ro jende ngai char mero dem ji de chate ni lo elegan rale pen rai ni ba ko mola amen.
More chaplain. At this time, special guest speakers, distinguished guests, please meet us at the front of the basketball court for the unveiling. One, two. One, two. One, two. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I can direct your attention to the basketball court sign. With us, we have Sergeant Solomon Sam's sister and Staff Sergeant Philip. Eling and I unveil after I count to 3. Lelak Eling Kapobok. So, are you ready? One, two, three. Lelak Pujinelan Kapobok. Staff Sergeant Solomon Sam Basketball Court. Our second unveiling will be at the front of the CMI perimeter fence. Let's take another walk to the front, shall we? To the front. Perimeter. Come on. For the unveiling of the CMI perimeter fence, we are honored to have Acting Minister of Education, Sports and Training, Honorable Minister Keynote, and our CMI President, Dr. Irene Tafabi, and Board Chair, Catherine Rilan. One, two. Come on. Right this way. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Lelang kapubok. On behalf of the senior leadership team, CMI faculty and staff, the Student Government Association, ladies and gentlemen, happy 30th Foundation Day. Jaraman ng olip.
One, two, one, two.
There are refreshments after, so before the refreshments, we will have the cutting of the cakes by our Board of Region members and Dr. Irene Tafabi and the senior leadership team. Board of Regents, special guests, our last tiny event will be cutting of the cakes. So please join us at the other side. Please meet at the parking lot where the tent is at, where the cakes are at. If we can have the Board of Regents here at the front of the stage and our distinguished guests, Honorable Minister Keynote, Cholo Put. So you don't know man in staging. Once again, Board of Regents, Senior Leadership Team, Honorable Minister, Keynote, ilo kaudits. Test, 1, 2. Okay. On to the count of 3. They will cut the cake. Yung olive na jilalak ilang kapubok. 1, 2, 3. Happy 30th Foundation Day, CMI.